Hey guys, you're watching Daniel and Gian React, and today we're going to check out the behind the scenes making of Kalank video, Kalank World of Kalank. We already did the teaser, we did the trailer, now we get this treat. Thank you DNT for the subs, really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for the Mexican mowing the lawn outside too, if you can hear that.
Thank you for the leaf blower.
Yeah.
That's a question for you guys out there before we get the video started. Do they use leaf blowers in India? Because they're stupid. They're like the worst invention. All you're doing is blowing stuff
Shouldn't
to
you
one
have
side.
a leaf vacuum?
Exactly. Dude, people used to use this thing called a rake, and they would put everything in a bag and throw it away, and now dudes just blow stuff in one direction, and then 2-3 days later, it gets blown right back into the yard. I guess it's keeping this guy employed for the $7 an hour that he's making. But
I don't even know how much.
anyways,
It's probably not.
like and subscribe, guys.
Gian noticed that their reception to the previous reactions for Kalank haven't been the best. We're wondering why that might be the
It's been
case.
a bit polarizing. Some people seem to be excited, other people are like, nah, whatever.
Let us know in the comments either way. Don't forget, this weekend we're reviewing Dev D. Next weekend, Badlapur will be coming out. So please submit your questions for our reviews because we will get to them during the review. But let's just get into this.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up?
अस्सलामुअलैकुम, मैं हूँ ज़फर और आज मैं आपको दिखाने वाला हूँ मेरा बहुत ही बड़ा सेट।
That's practical.
Some of it at least.
Just to take you roughly through the set.
Wow.
They did a main game, Bravo game.
It's a pretty big set.
Wow. Yeah, that's impressive.
Very nice.
But is it necessary?
He's really clear about how he wants things to look. Each section and visual was already penned out. We started
I don't know, man.
pulling out, I think, painting
I think
references.
if you're gonna use it, we'll talk about it.
We
Yeah,
started
after.
building the model November and December, and we went on to the floors in Jan. And then it took us 3 months of very crazy construction to get it ready for shoot on
Dude.
time.
Definitely got some employment there
We
for
just
sure.
put together stuff that we love, each building, each visual that we've seen, how many other years we've been referencing. Then once we knew the spaces that were already in the script, it was about making it into one big town. It started small, then it grew, but I think Abhishek always knew this is how he wanted to see the city.
I like these.
I don't. This is kind of triggering me though.
Really?
Yeah.
I think this is dope.
Well, we'll talk about it after.
ये जो जगह है, ये ज़फर का इलाका है। यहाँ पे ज़फर का इंट्रोडक्शन होता है। One of my favorite places, और उसके बाद क्लब, शाम की जो चाय है यहाँ पे पीता हूँ मैं। The Arts Corner, that's what Abhishek calls it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's impressive as shit.
अमृता महल जो हमारी set designer है, he got these flown down from the marketplaces in Afghanistan.
Like,
Types of schools.
they can make this into a fucking amusement park after, you know, like a studio tour.
They have one in London for Harry Potter.
300
They
extra.
have it in New Zealand for Lord of the Rings.
तकरीबन 1000 लोग रहते हैं set पे at any given time.
Both those movies are successful.
बहुत सारी lighting दिखेगी. Of course, it's
Oh, it's Remo, director of Race 3.
Largest set that I've ever
Remote.
worked in my whole life. It was bigger than the sets of Devdas. I'm so excited. No, these planes are making it look very good. And then it's like,
Wow, it's a fucking, it is a little city.
Just helping me in my writing.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I had no idea कि आजकल भी ऐसे सेट करते हैं. पाकिदा होता है ऐसे सेट करते हैं.
दुनिया हम लोग ने create की. It's like a different world almost. When I would be coming here from home, I would almost get transported. Kalank is a film that you can watch only on the big screen.
Kalank.
The way it's been made.
I mean, I'll be watching it for sure on day one. So what triggers me about that, and I don't think it's necessarily because I'm a hater or whatever. Like, I think it's cool. No. I think it's cool. I legitimately think that's badass. I think it's great that those people got employed to build the set. More people got to bring on, to more gaffers to light and all these. It's creating jobs. I think I'm full in support of that. And if that's his vision and that's what he wants to do, fucking I'm support of that 100%. I'm not hating on that. But what triggers me about that is building all of these things, and I'm only triggered because we didn't see this in the behind the scenes, but how much of this stuff's been storyboarded, how much of this stuff is really necessary, because any filmmakers out there, they know all that matters is what's inside that frame. Right. You can have the greatest set in the history of the planet Earth, but if you're only seeing this much of it...
Well, you saw the tops, they didn't build roofs.
No, obviously I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, how much of this stuff is being utilized? And if it's not, is it really necessary to be this extravagant?
I mean, I think...
Let's not pretend like I wouldn't want that to happen for anything I envision, right? Like that, it's...
Well, it's because it's something, you don't see that anymore in American films. Everything's CGI, you might have a panel or something, like one specific thing that's handmade.
A wall.
But the rest is like, have a big green screen behind it.
Things like this make Indian cinema special, because it is a lost art form in American cinema, because they're probably one of the few countries doing shit like this.
Still doing stuff.
Still doing shit, because like you said, American cinema doesn't do this
There was
anymore.
a time in early Hollywood where they used to build huge extravagant sets.
Just like this.
And then they either break them down or they'd leave them up for other productions to use them, like, the famous D.W. Griffith, Intolerance has this huge set. It's gone now, but
it's way gone. Yeah.
But you could see it in
LA Noire, the
LA
video
Noire,
game. There's movies with it on. Obviously, you can watch Intolerance, the movie itself, if you can find it. It's just crazy. But the reason why I was triggered, or I was starting to get triggered during the reaction, was how much of this stuff is going to be utilized. Was this pre-planned, meaning were all of his shots pre-planned? And if that's the case, why didn't they just build those things? Why do they need so much? These are just production, because as a filmmaker, both of us, we know that all that matters is what's inside that little rectangle. If you want to build this huge extravagant city, but you're only seeing the outside of a cafe, I'm just making this up, if you're only seeing the outside of it, then everything else behind it's irrelevant.
I mean, I could see the concern.
It helps the actors, maybe.
It's a waste of money in one regard, but at the same time, if you can get away with doing it, why not do it? Especially if you're not like limited by the time constraints, because I think there's two reasons why they don't do it in American film anymore.
It's expensive.
It's expensive because you have to hire all these union laborers to put everything together, and it's not time effective either. Like
starting wage for those, because Zach's been on the show a few times. That's exactly what Zach's doing now, as a matter of fact, working for the unions, building sets. He's building the set for Ballers right now. His starting wage is $50 or $55 an hour.
Right, total.
And I doubt that's what Indian workers are getting paid to build this set. So
I mean, yeah, but
what is the day rate? I'm curious to know about stuff like that.
Well, I mean, that's a question in labor in general. Like, are there unions?
Well, no, I'm explaining that's why it's not being built, because production companies can't afford.
It's not practical to build practical
for 3 months.
Yeah,
you can't afford a union for 3 unless you're working at the millions and millions of dollar range.
And even then,
any producer's going to say, "Why are you doing that?" So we can just CGI it.
Right. Most films, you have 3 months to shoot the entire project out for multiple reasons. The actor's got to be on another movie soon.
And that's a big budget, 3 months. A normal film, you have a month, basically.
Right. Well, I think the Marvel films, they take 3 months to film principal. But it's like, it comes down to that kind of stuff. Like a lot, time constraints more than anything, because the turnaround needs to be fast, because they want to make sure they make the most amount of money.
But I applaud the director and the production team for doing that.
I'm super impressed.
For hiring all these people.
From what I've seen from the trailer and the teasers, I thought it was CGI, and to find out now that those are all practical, I mean that.
It kind of reminds me of another movie that was very practical and looked cool and was impressive. Thugs of Hindustan. So let's just hope that Kalank is not Thugs of Hindustan, because that would prove my point that you can build the most extravagant, practical, all this shit you want, and if the story sucks, none of that matter.
I mean, I think we've been reiterating that over and over again. Story's the most important thing. You can get away with anything else but if your story sucks,
who cares?
who cares? But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for us. Thanks for watching. You know the drill. Smash that like button, leave comments, let us know what you think. If you like this video, make sure to check out our Kalank playlist, and we will see you next time.